Also in '73, Ryan set a record for striking out 10 or more batters 18 times in a single season.
1-2 the count. One strikeout away from a new American League record. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. Curveball gets him swinging, and Nolan Ryan has another strikeout record. That was his 314th strikeout. 18 times this season he has struck out 10 or more men, and no pitcher in American League history can make that statement. And now he's just 3 away from Sandy Koufax's national and major league record. And that's being spelled out now on the Big A message board. I don't believe Nolan Ryan cognizant of the importance of that strikeout. Now Torborg asks for the ball, and there goes another into the Nolan Ryan trophy case, and another standing ovation for the Angels flamethrower from Texas.
On August 12, 1974, Ryan set an American League record by striking out 19 batters in a 9-inning game.
Young man from Detroit, Michigan. He's up there trying to get a piece of it and tie the game. Or better, the outfield around toward right. Runners at second and third. Carbo settles in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ryan into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss! Nolan Ryan has tied the Major League record. 19 strikeouts tonight. He has set a new American League record, erasing the name, the immortal Bob Feller of Cleveland.
8 days later, Ryan broke another record when he struck out 47 batters over a 3-game span. Here's how it sounded on the Angel Radio Network when Ryan shattered that record.
Many fans came out his last outing when he was victorious but left the game relieved by Ken Sanders against Milwaukee when he had 9 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul back. At that time, his 3-game string involved a near no-hitter in Chicago when he had 13. Came back with 19 for the 32 and the 2-game record, but his 9 only tied him for the 3-game record. And now, tonight, when it appeared that he didn't have the real good strikeout stuff, that he was going to be denied that record, all of a sudden, with a flourish, he has 13 tonight, and he's 1 strike away from another record. He winds the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ryan strikes out the side in the 8th inning against the Detroit Tigers. He has 14 strikeouts tonight, 42 strikeouts in the last 3 games, a new Major League record. Goodbye, Tiant. Goodbye, Koufax. Another ovation for Ryan.
Ryan erased another Koufax standard on July 16, 1977, by striking out 10 or more batters in a game for the 98th time.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan gets the ball, peers back in, gets the sign from Echeverren. He winds. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Nolan Ryan stands alone. The fans on their feet here at Anaheim Stadium. The infielders all come in. Andy Echeverren goes out. They shake hands with Nolan Ryan. He breaks the deadlock. Ryan and Koufax. It is Ryan standing alone. 98 times he has struck out 10 or more hitters in a single game.
But Ryan wasn't the only Angel who could set strikeout records. Frank Tanana was pretty good at it himself.
Grieve up on the handle of the bat just a bit. Good power. Outside target Rodriguez. Tanana sets. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 17 strikeouts for Frank Tanana as he strikes out the side for the 3rd time in the game.
Although Ryan and Tanana were setting records, the Angels weren't winning. Following the 1976 season, the entire structure of baseball changed, allowing players with a certain amount of seniority to play out their existing contracts and then declare themselves free agents. Quite a few players took advantage of the new rule, and the Angels were quick to capitalize on it, signing outfielders Joe Rudi and Don Baylor of Oakland, and second baseman Bobby Grich of Baltimore. But when Rudi and Grich went down with injuries early in the season, 1977 turned out to be another Angel disaster. Norm Sherry was replaced by Dave Garcia at midseason, and the Angels had themselves their 4th manager in 3 years. The Angels went on to finish 28 games behind the division-winning Kansas City Royals, but many felt it was due to the injuries to Rudi and Grich and not a lack of talent. By this time, the Angels had improved their hitting and set a club record on May 11, 1977, by hitting 3 straight home runs.
The 2-2 pitch, high drive hit deep right field. Bunbury going back to the wall. This ball is gone. Bobby Bonds hits his 6th home run of the year to share the club lead with teammates Don Baylor and Joe Rudy. There's a drive hit deep left center. Going back is Murray and Bunbury. This ball is gone. Don Baylor hits his 7th of the year, and the Angels take the lead 2-0. Grimsley winds, fastball, drive hit deep left field. Going back is Murray. This ball is gone. How do you do as Bobby Bonds, Don Baylor, and Ron Jackson, 3 consecutive home runs, and the Angels take the lead by a score of 3-0.
When the Angels began the 1978 season, former Dodger general manager Buzzy Bavasi had replaced Harry Dalton, who moved on to Milwaukee, and the Angels reached into the free agent market again and plucked out Lyman Bostock, a lifetime .300 hitter from the Minnesota Twins. One of Bavasi's first moves turned out to be a very controversial one, but one which would reap great benefits later. He sent Bobby Bonds, who had driven in a club record 115 runs in 1977, to the White Sox for catcher Brian Downing and pitchers Chris Knapp and Dave Frost. Despite a slow start by Bostock, the Angels were in contention right from the start in 1978. In an unprecedented move, Bostock refused to accept his first month's pay because of his bad start, and he turned it over to charity. Rudy was plagued by injuries early in the season, but came around in late June and drove in almost 80 runs by the time the season had ended. Baylor had also enjoyed a banner year, driving in 99 runs, while Bostock finally got his act together and hit close to .300. And there was an unexpected bonus. A young 21-year-old third baseman by the name of Carney Lansford, who made the club with an excellent spring and went on to hit .294. On the negative side, Gritch's back injury in '77 was slow to come around, but he did finish strong, giving the Angels hope that their first pennant was not far away. But the Angels still lacked a strong leader, so in early June of '78, Dave Garcia was replaced by the club's first star, Jim Fregosi, who was traded away 7 years earlier and who now was in the twilight of his career with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Under Fregosi, the Angels enjoyed their finest season ever, finishing 1978 in a tie for second place, just 5 games behind Kansas City, and for the first time in 8 years, the Angels finished over the .500 mark, winning 87 and losing 75. But tragedy struck the club just 1 week before the end of the season when Lyman Bostock was murdered on the streets of Gary, Indiana, while the Angels were on a road trip in Chicago. For the Angels, this was just another in a long list of misfortunes which had dotted their first 18 years of existence. Back in 1965, pitcher Dick Wantz died of a brain tumor. Relief pitcher Minnie Rojas was in an auto accident in 1968 and never pitched again. Relief pitcher Bruce Heinbeckner was killed in a car crash in spring training of 1974 in Palm Springs. And shortstop Mike Miley was also killed in an auto accident prior to the 1977 season. And there were the key injuries, too. Bobby Valentine running into the fence in 1973. Bobby Bonds breaking his hand and missing most of the '76 season. The crippling injuries to Rudy and Gritch in '77. Indeed, the Angels seemed like a snake-bitten team. And now, just when they were so close to winning their first championship, the Angels had another void to fill. The Angels made 2 off-season deals with the Minnesota Twins prior to the '79 campaign, acquiring first baseman Rod Carew and outfielder Danny Ford. But they didn't come cheaply. The Angels were forced to give up a truckload of young talent, but it was something that Buzzy Bavasi felt he had to do to contend. The Angels were now closing out their second decade and still no pennant. But the fans were flocking to the Big A. In 1978, for instance, over 1,700,000 fans paid their way in to see the Angels play. With an abundance of talent, a fine manager, and their best hitting team ever, the Angels began the 1979 season co-favorites along with Kansas City and Texas to win the American League West. But when they began the season by losing their first 2 games in Seattle, they didn't exactly make anyone forget the 1927 Yankees. But soon after that, the Angels put together a 10-game winning streak. That included a near no-hitter by Nolan Ryan, some clutch hitting by Brian Downing, and the first ever Major League home run by a man who would play quite a role in the Angels' success story in '79.
Erickson reading the signs of Weininger, who sets outside. Here's a 3-2 pitch. High drive, deep right field. This ball is it's gone. I'll guarantee you could cut that up and that would make somebody a bunch of singles for a month and a half, as he hit that one a ton. That's the first Major League home run for Willie Aikens, and he hit it. He stood at the plate for a minute and just kind of marveled and said, I wonder how far that one's going to go, and then he took off.
Aikens went on to hit 21 home runs and drive in 81 runs before tearing up his knee in Kansas City late in the season. In the vernacular of baseball, RBI means runs batted in. But Angel fans changed that meaning in 1979 to runs bailered in, and with good reason.
Now once again, the Angels have loaded the bases, and here's Don Baylor. There's one away, the infield, back up the middle. They'll look for the ground ball in 2. Revering is back at first. Lacey winds, and the pitch to Baylor. A high drive, deep left field. This ball is gone.
It winds, the 2-1 pitch. A high drive, hit deep to left field. Gar going back to the track, to the wall. Upper deck home run for Baylor. Ford at first base, Baylor at the plate. Strong right-hand hitter waits. Kehoe sets. And the 2-1 pitch. Curveball is hit well to left field. Going back is Henderson to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Don Baylor with his 26th home run of the year. And Baylor with that home run hits the century mark for the first time in his career. 100 runs batted in for Don Baylor as he steps on home plate, shakes hands with Danny Ford and Rod Carew, and then back to the dugout. And a standing ovation in the dugout for Don Baylor from his teammates as he hits the 100 mark. Baylor, Rudy, and Lansford. Caldwell winds, the first pitch. High drive, hit deep to left field, way back. Ogilvie to the wall, it is gone, and the game is over.
When the season was over, Don had 139 runs bailered in to lead the majors, but even more remarkable was that in over 600 at-bats, Baylor struck out only 51 times, incredibly low for a power hitter. Now, Baylor wasn't the only success story in 1979. Bobby Grich battled back from 2 years of injuries to have himself quite a season. His 30 home runs and 101 RBIs added up to his best season ever.
Score tied 3-3. Runner at second base here in the 7th. Anderson looks around. Now backs off the bag at second. Stone checks him. The pitch to the plate. Swung on a drive to deep left field. If it's fair, it's a home run. It is. It hits the foul pole. A home run for Grich, and the Angels lead 5-3.
There's a line drive right center field. That's going to be a base hit. That is going to go through to the wall. Downing scores. Grich to second. He turns. He's going to head to third. The relay is not in time. Now back-to-back triples by Downing and Grich, preceded with a home run by Willie Aikens. There's a drive hit well left center field. Then goes back. He looks up. This ball is gone. Now Bobby Grich in front of a sellout crowd at Anaheim Stadium hits his 6th home run of the year, and that ball was hit well. Freddie Lynn started over. He just took a look and said, no, sir, there's no way.
One of the most thrilling moments in the history of the franchise came when the Angels swept a 3-game weekend series from the world champion New York Yankees in July at Anaheim. In Game 1, there was the near no-hitter by Ryan. After a controversial call kept his dream alive in the 8th inning, he faced Reggie Jackson with 1 out in the 9th.
Munson remains at first. Ryan 2 outs away from his 5th no-hitter of his career. Lansford back at third and off the line. Anderson deep at short, a little bit to his left. Ryan sets and delivers a ground ball back up the middle. That's a base hit. Jackson turning around and pointing the throw to third, and they don't get nettled. Now the crowd on their feet as Jackson singles under the glove of Nolan Ryan, but he will get a standing ovation.